Here we are in the last day of the Osuna Slackline Festival. The guys are enjoying the line, there is the sun, and we have the amazing opportunity of making some questions to the owner of Spider Slacklines, Edoardo Galizzi. Thank you, Edoardo, for coming and enjoying the event. I would like to make you to introduce yourself.
Manuel, thanks for the invitation here in Andalusia. It's a wonderful place. I've never been there, and I live in the mountains, so my wife just called me. In my place there are 8 degrees in the morning, so I really enjoy to stay here. It's still summer. The line are fantastic, and we had yesterday a really great trick line event. So I'm pleased to be here with you at the festival. And for anyone who doesn't know me, people they usually like to say I'm an entrepreneur because I run a company, but I like to present myself more as a dreamer. So I like to dream, and I like to surround me about people that, like me, loves to dream, and I want the best dreamer because I am a good dreamer. So Spider is one of the best dreams I've had. So here I am, try to share my passion.
Okay, and tell us a little bit more about your dream and how did it happen? How did you get from a child that didn't know the slackline to the man that is owning already a company that works doing a lot of products of slackline?
Okay, for sure everything started by my passion of sport. So I was a sport addicted since ever. My family always pushed me to do any kind of sport. So I live in the mountains, so winter sports like skiing, snowboarding for sure, but then also bicycle. I started climbing when I was in university, and that was for a long period of my life a very good focus. I was into climbing a lot, and it was climbing that introduced me to slacklining. It was 2008, and I got in love with slacklining because it gave me a big jump forward in my sport skill of climbing. So the more I was slacklining, and the better I was climbing. And my weekly training became from 3 times a week climbing to 1 time a week climbing and 2 times a week slacklining. And I was improving my skill in capacity of moving my body. And a second big reason was I got a very bad injury to my back while I was snowboarding. And for 3 years, my first thought in the morning was, oh, my back so hurt. And it was just a coincidence. I started slacklining, and after 6 months of training, my back pain was gone. So I said, oh my God, this is really working. So it's not just something that I read somewhere that slacklining is giving you benefit, physical benefit. It's really work, especially when you have injury in your muscle or injury in your knees or ankles or anything that is connected to the movement from chest below. And so I said, okay, I'm the right person in the right place at the right time, because I was 24 years old. It was 2011. And I said, I was already buying some slacklining from the market at that time, and I was not happy about what I received as a consumer.
Why? Because of the quality of the products?
Basically, I have born in a family with a manufacturing way and attitude. So in my family business from my father, I know how goods are manufactured. And when I get some these of slacklining, I said, these are really cheap and poor. We can do better. I want better. So that was the reason why I said, okay, let's give a try. And that was the reason why I started Spider.
Okay, and in these first years, which were the first products that you made?
I was training at the park, so I need some product for myself. And I was training for the basic, and the first product was the white line. So to let anyone that never tries slacklining to be able to do a first step, a first walk. And then the second product was the Pro line, because I was already good in walking. So I was training myself to jumping forward, so to move to the trick lining. So the Pro line is one of my favorite because it made me jump forward to the next step.
Okay, and in these first years of the company, how was the community? How was the world of slacklining? Was like today?
It looks like ages ago. So the first main difference is that we were not connected, or at least I was not connected at that time. So anything I want to try as a user, so how can you start doing the first tricks on the webbing, how you can do anything connected to the fall that you do every time from the slackline, I learned by myself. And I was alone, as I said, and then after 1 or 2 years, I start to use internet and the community to share the passion and then to meet person. And then you see that in different parts of Italy and then in the world, everyone has the same issue. So try to do some new movements, some new tricks, and the community makes a huge difference to move forward in the spreading of the skills between the community.
And how were the events then?
The events went in a natural form. So I was at the park, I was training myself, and then when some people look at me, hey, I like what you do, why don't you come at my festival and you enjoy and you play slacklining, so to entertain people. And my first thought was, I don't have time, I want to train myself, then I have the company to run, it was the beginning, I didn't have time. But I said, I can help you. I know some good people like me that are training because we train ourselves. So I can help you to create a good event through the slacklining, and I will organize a good group of people that will perform a good show for you. And that was a part. And on the other hand, there were just the gathering community, like it happened in 2011, the first big Italian meeting in Milano. And I was shocked where a small group of people, the association name is Slackline Italia, this association made a lot of people from all over Italy and from Europe travel to came to Milano. And it was 2012, so I was shocked. I said, how can these people make so many kilometers just to do slacklining?
So much effort.
So much effort. So that's clicked my mind, and I said, people love this sport and they want to move to play. So that was the way it started all.
Okay, that was 10 years ago?
10 years ago, yeah.
Now, from 10 years ago, who would you say that is the soul of slackline, of Spider Slacklines, of the brand?
Okay, good question. I like to say Spider is a company that make products for the community. So the soul is the products and the community. So I couldn't make any nice product without be inside the community and to receive from the community a lot of, user feedback. I am a user, but I'm not the only one. So I'm always looking for someone better than me in training or even in designing. I'm quite good in having ideas, but sometimes the ideas is just a small part of the product. Then you have to convert the idea into something beautiful and useful as well. So it takes sometimes weeks, sometimes years to make this happen. So the soul is product and community.
Okay, and now that we have 10 years of community growing, developing products, and reaching the community, what would you say that is the best product you have now? What is the product you are more proud of?
In my heart, I remember very well the really hard job it took me to create Rolex. So the pulley carabiner that is useful in eyeline and you can use also in the park or for tensioning. It's in my heart because it took me 4 years of hard job and like 9 prototypes throwing in the bin. So a lot of effort and everything is printed in my memory very clear. So all this effort is payback by the good feedback I get from the community and the user. So every time I see an happy customer that's saying Rolex is really a good product, then it reminds me why I made so much trouble and effort in the past.
Okay. And now that because I know you need to leave because you have family, you have things to do. So let's make the last questions. For example, one really important, we spoke a little bit about the past, a little bit about the present. What about the future? What are the next expectations that have the community? What are the goals for Spider Slacklines in the next years?
It's 10 years old, the company, so we still consider ourselves like a sort of a brand new company. And the same is as the sport of slacklining, so it's evolving time by time. We have been shocked, like everyone, 2 years ago with the isolation from the COVID and the coronavirus. Every event was cancelled. That was a big shock. I mean, we are a community that used to move a lot and to share, and from night to morning, everything at home. So from 40 events a year to 0, it was a big shock to me. And now it's almost 2 years that this quarantine is gone. Still, we are not back to the past. And my question is, do we really get back to where we left before the corona? And I'm not sure. So my focus is, what I'm sure is that the group of people that love slacklining will continue, but they will need help, and I need their help as well. So I want to connect more with the association. So a reason why I am in the community is to speak to the final user, and if I speak through the association in everywhere in Italy, in Europe, and abroad, that is a way to keep the community alive and not to let the slackline fading like it was disappear. In my opinion, it's not disappear at all. It's just a moment where the events are going a little bit down. Television is not speaking that much more about slacklining, but it doesn't mean that people are not doing any more slacklining.
Yeah, it's just a process.
Yes.
And before you leave, this one question I still need to make, because it's something I always wanted to know. Why Spider Slacklines is Spider Slacklines and it's not three slacklines or free slackline or whatever another thing? Why Spider is Spider Slacklines?
Well, the story is really fun and simple. When we were training at the beginning, it was a small group of people. It was 2009, 10, 11. So we were the crazy of the neighborhood, okay? And everyone pointed us, they are the crazy guy, they looks like a spider on the web, walking way and back, so crazy, this young guy. So when I was explaining myself, we're not crazy, this is a sport, it's not a circus, we are really enjoying what we do, and we think it could be a new sport in the future. And they say, yeah, but you still look like Spider. So I said, well, you're right. And then we started to design a nice logo
to take the name
to
from
be
there.
a very, to be proud to be
Exactly.
looking like Spider on the webbing. And that's really the reason why I choose that.
Okay, it's nice to know. It's nice to know because I really wanted to know. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming, for letting us making the interview, for helping to develop so a nice event like this. And I hope we can continue working together
My pleasure,
and
Manuel.
developing the community. Thank you very much.